Hey guys, in this video we are going to work on updating user profile and adding photo for the user. Let's try login here with one of our accounts and let's go to profile. Choosing new image and updating the name, and let's submit. Profile updated successfully and the avatar here has been changed, and when we open, the information has been updated. So let's get started. But first let's go to index and update here. This is supposed to be get, not use. Sorry about that. And now let's go to controllers and start building our controller. Let's call it update profile. And let's wrap it by our function try catch to catch any errors triggered by this function. It is a sync function. We will receive the request and the response. And let's here try to update user information using user model. We will use the function find by id and update, and we will pass it request.user.id. This user object, we attach this object using our auth function when we verify the token. It is a trusted information. After verifying the token, we don't receive this information from the user side, and we will pass the new information we received in the body of the request and the option new true. That means we need Mongo to return us the new updated user. And let's extract ID, name and photo URL from our updated user. And here for our next video, we are going to update all the records related to this user. If he added rooms or some records, we need to update them so it can contain the latest information of the user. And let's copy here this code to generate a new token and pass it the new updated information of the user. And let's send back a response to the user with JSON object success true, and we will include in the result the new information of the user, name, photo, URL, and the new updated token. And if there is error, try and catch function will catch these errors. Let's go now to the router and let's copy one of these. I am going to use batch, but you can use update or post here. It's up to you. And we will call it update profile. And we will pass it our function update profile. But here we need to pass our middleware auth, because we need to verify that this user sending this request is the same user owning this profile. The request need to pass this check first. So let's go to auth, and here we already extracted the token from the authorization inside the header, and we checked if it is Google token, so we verified that token with Google. Otherwise it is our custom token we generated using our private secret key. So let's decode that token in case it is ours using GWT. Let's import it. And let's use verify function to decode it and pass it our private secret key. We already stored it in our environment variables. And let's extract the trusted information from this decoded token and attach our object user to the request and pass these information: ID, name, photo, URL. If everything is successful, next we'll move the execution to our next function, which is updating the profile. This is the user attached by our function auth after extracting these information from the token. And let's now go to client side. Let's say create new component. We will call it profile. Let's go to our login component and copy its content because we are going to use the same dialog. Here we need a global state to control opening and closing this profile. So let's go to our context and add profile here. It is an object. Open is false by default, that means it's closed. And we need to add file and photo URL. Let's save and go to reducer and add here an action. Let's copy this and update to update profile. And here let's update it to profile. And let's save and go back to our profile component. Let's extract this global variable from our state. And we need current user as well because we need the name and the photo URL. And the dispatch, of course, using our function useValue. And here let's replace it by profile.open. And let's import these components from Material UI. Let's import it here. And let's create our function handle close. We will just dispatch to update our profile in the global context. Type update profile and payload is an object. It is the same profile fields, and we will just change open to be false to close it. And let's import this one. Update the title to be profile. And this one as well imported. And this is from material icons. Let's import it up. Let's create our function handle submit. And for now, let's just prevent default action. Go back and import all other components. And let's update this message. You can update your profile by updating these fields. And let's delete this one. And import the text field from Material UI. And let's create this reference to hold the name of the user. And let's add default value. It is current user dot name. And let's delete all of these fields, we don't need them here. Now we are going to add our avatar. Let's wrap it by label, HTML for profile photo. Let's include here input to trigger selecting an image. The type of the files only images. And the ID must be the same as HTML4. It's a profile photo. And it is file. And let's make it hidden. Display none. We just need to see our avatar. And when we click on the avatar, it will trigger the same action as if we clicked on the input. And on a change, we are going to pass handle change function. We are going to create this function in a moment. Let's add the avatar. Source is the photo URL inside the global profile. And let's give it width 75, height the same, and cursor to be pointer. Here let's add our button to submit the request. Let's update it to update. And let's delete all of this. Now let's create our function handle change. Let's add it here. We will receive the event. And we will extract the file from that event. e.target.files, first one. And if there is file, we will extract the URL from that file and store it in a variable photo URL. And we will update our profile state. Type update profile and payload same profile, and we will update the file and the photo URL. Let's save and go to user menu. Here we are going to open our profile using this menu item. We used it before to test the authorization using Google token. So we don't need this function, we just used it for testing only. And let's delete it and dispatch opening our profile model. Type update profile and the payload open true to open it, and file will take the default null, and the photo URL, the current user photo URL. Let's add our component profile here. Let's add React fragment and drag this menu inside it and down our profile component. Let's save and check. Let's go to profile, and here is our model opened. Let's try to select an image, and it is here. Now let's work on submitting the request to update this information. Let's go back to our profile component and to our function handle submit. Let's extract the name of the user from the reference or from the field. And here we are going to pass the username and the photo to a new function. We are going to create it in user actions to send the request to update user information after uploading the image into Firebase. Let's go to actions, user actions, and let's create here a new function. We will call it update profile. It is a sync function. We will receive current user, and we will receive the updated fields, the name and the file, and the dispatcher as well. Let's copy start loading and the action to end the loading, and between them we will add our functionality. First we'll extract name and file from the updated fields. And we will create a variable body and assign an object including our name, and try and catch if there is a file. We are going to upload this image into Firebase, and we add this try catch because if our upload to Firebase failed, we don't want it to continue. We want it to stop the execution and just show the error to the user. We need here to add a new package, uuid, to generate a unique name for the image. Let's invoke it here. And let's extract the extension of the image from the file name. We'll use split by the dot, and we will get the last part using pop. And we will try to upload it to our Firebase. So let's go to Firebase console and create a new project. It's called travel, Actually, we don't need analytics. Let's disable it here and create a project. Continue and create web app. Let's call it YRW. And let's copy this to install Firebase package. Go back. We need to add these keys into our config file. Let's go to our last project and go to Firebase. We need this config file. Let's copy it. And let's go back and create a new folder for Firebase inside source. New file config.js, and let's paste it here, and let's go back to Firebase to copy our keys. I'm not gonna add them here to environment variables, but it is better to add them inside environment variables. Let's just replace them here. And delete the auth and firestore, we don't need them. We just need the storage to store our image. And let's save and go back to our console. And let's create a storage. Let's get it started here. We are going to use the test mode. Let's go to rules and update here. We don't want it to be expired during our working on our project. We will just add a true. It is not safe, but for now it is just for testing. I have another videos on Firebase and how to apply these security rules. They are on the same channel. You can watch them if you want. We need the function for uploading the files. We need to use it for uploading our image. So let's copy it. And let's create here new file, upload file. And let's paste it here. Here we will receive the file and the file path. So let's go back to our actions and use that function here. Upload file, and we are going to pass it our file or the image, and we will create a path, profile, / current user ID, and the name of the image. This will be our path inside our Firebase storage. And let's add to the body object our photo URL. This is just in case user chose an image. And let's send our request to our server using our function fetch data. And let's pass the options. URL is our URL. Here we created. It is our user URL. And we are going to add to that / update profile. Method will be batch and the body, and we are going to include the current user token because we need to verify that token and the information of the user. and the dispatcher. Now we will check our result. If there's object, we're supposed to receive in this object the updated fields. So we will dispatch an action to update the current user state by updating user, and the payload will be the same current user, and we will add to it our new updated fields. Let's copy this alert from here and paste it here. We will update the message to your profile has been updated successfully. And let's close our profile model. Data profile, payload, open false, file null, photo URL will be the new link inside our result. And in case of error, we'll copy this alert and change the severity to error and this message to error message. And we will console log it as well. This error could be triggered by communicating with Firebase. It is not about our request to our server, because that already has been handled using our fetch data function. Let's go now to our profile component and use this function or action. I think we forgot to export it. Let's go back. Yeah, let's export it. Let's try again. And here it is. And let's pass it current user. Yeah, we have it here already. And the object of the user fields we need to update: name and the image. File is the file inside our global state profile .file, and the dispatcher. And let's save and check. Let's go to profile, try to select another image. Let's choose this picture and let's update the name and send. It is successfully updated, and the avatar here, and if we check the profile, the information has updated. And if we try to update only the name, it is very quick to update because we don't need to upload the image into Firebase. And here's our new information. Let's go back to the user menu. We need to show profile only for our users, not for those logged in using Google account. We need to add this menu item in a condition. We will check if the current user doesn't have Google property. We added this during Google authentication. Only in this case we are going to show this profile item. It is here shown, but if we log out and go and log in using Google, it's not available here. In our next video we are going to work on adding the rooms. We logged out because our token has been expired. Let's go and log in again. So from here we can add the location of the room. Let's search, for example, for Toronto. And let's move this marker here. Let's go to the next and add a price. And a title. Let's add this as a test title and test description. Let's go next and let's add our images. We can drag and drop them into this box and they will be automatically uploaded. And if you don't like any of the images, you can delete it easily. The submit now ready, we can submit and the room has been added and all the information of the room is here. And if we go to the map, we can spread out the rooms from here and go to Canada, Toronto, and here is our room. This is what we have just added and this is the detail of the room. So see you guys in our next video.